losing my child. I prayed to God that we, my baby and I, would be protected. I suppose this is an accurate and pithy description of motherhood, a lifelong wavering between utmost happiness and consuming worry. This might sound strange, but I was more grateful in that initial moment than I had ever been for the work that I do, especially for my PhD. I had just begun the second year of my doctoral studies at the University of Cambridge and was on my leave to work away. This meant that the year was dedicated to my fieldwork and research, which happened to be on Black motherhood. I was grateful because my research, which led to this book, gave me examples of three incredible women and mothers who could guide me in the next stage of my life. In the journey of finding evidence of their lives, I was able to acknowledge the very real fears that come with motherhood, specifically Black motherhood, both during and after pregnancy. But I also found encouragement and a warm embrace to welcome me. The three women I speak of are Alberta King, Berdis Baldwin, and Louise Little, women who have been almost entirely ignored throughout history. While this disregard of Black women's contributions is widespread and so extensive that it is unquantifiable, the women I honor here have been ignored differently. Ignored, even though it should have been easy throughout history to see them, to at least wonder about them, and to think about them. Ignored in ways that are blatantly obvious when the fame of their sons is considered. They were the mothers of Martin Luther King Jr., James Baldwin, and Malcolm X, respectively. While the sons have been credited with the success of Black resistance, the progression of Black thought, and the survival of the Black community, the three mothers who birthed and reared them have been erased. This book fights that erasure. Through the lives of the three mothers, Alberta, Berdis, and Louise, I honor Black motherhood as a whole and celebrate knowledge passed from generation to generation through the bodies and teachings of Black women. While we are all influenced by our mothers in one way or another, it is especially clear in these three instances just how influential each mother's life experiences and teachings were on her son's views and actions. Because of who Alberta, Berdis, and Louise were, Martin, James, and Malcolm were able to become the great leaders we all revere. Because of who Alberta, Berdis, and Louise were, the world was changed forever, and it is time they received their due credit. In the book, All the Women Are White, All the Blacks Are Men, but Some of Us Are Brave, Black Women's Studies, editors Akasha Gloria T. Hull, Patricia Bell Scott, and Barbara Smith make a case for the significance of studying Black women in order to raise our collective consciousness. They highlight the crucial role an understanding of Black women's lives can play in saving Black women's lives. They write, "Merely to use the term Black women's studies is an act charged with political significance. At the very least, the combining of these words to name a discipline means taking the stance that Black women exist, and exist positively. My work is largely inspired by the guidelines found in But Some of Us Are Brave, and specifically addresses the stance that Black women exist, and exist positively. We must affirm Black women, a group that has historically been dehumanized, in humanizing ways. Positively does not mean that we should focus only on the positive facts about Black women's lives. Instead, we must take in the whole picture, one that includes diverse perspectives, an acknowledgement of oppressive forces, as well as an understanding of the ways in which Black women have survived such circumstances. Erasure, misrecognition, and historical amnesia have certainly contributed to the formation of our identity as Black women. But our fight against such forces with our affirmation and recognition of ourselves and each other has been much more telling. Through these practices, we've created new possibilities that defy the limits placed upon us. Writing about Black motherhood while becoming one gave me a much deeper perspective than I had before. As my own life and body transformed, it became even more important to me to tell Alberta's, Berdis's, and Louise's stories before they became mothers. Their lives did not begin with motherhood. On the contrary, long before their sons were